NDTV's Vishnu Som is in Warsaw and he sent us this report on Russia's strategy in Ukraine.
Well, as that very important phone conversation between the US President Joe Biden and Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes place, it's important to continue focusing on the situation in Ukraine. I'm now in Warsaw, will be in Ukraine quite soon. But the ground situation now appears to indicate a lull before the storm. If there were people believing that perhaps this was a situation which had eased itself out, that active fighting had in fact ended with the Russians having gone away from the Kiev region, well, that's not entirely correct, because the battle right now has moved squarely to the east and the southeast of the country in the Donbass region. So what I'll try and do is explain where exactly the conflict is, because what we expect to see in the next couple of days is a real intensification of fighting. Because remember, Ukrainian forces were not deployed in their maximum might in the Kiev region. They've always been deployed on the Donbass front. So what you see on your screen in the yellow areas is the area illegally captured by Russia from 2014 onwards. This is a part of the Donbass area. It composes of Donetsk and Lugansk, two towns, cities in fact, in that area. And the dotted line that you actually see is the line of contact which has actually existed in that area. The line of contact is the area where Ukraine and Russian forces faced off against each other in the past. Russia's goal now is to try and control more of the entire Donetsk area, the area that you see marked in light brown. And to that end, they are trying to push to the west in order to achieve that. And while they've made a great deal of progress in actually having achieved that in the last couple of weeks, to reinforce that position, to actually capture all of the Donbass region, they would actually need to put their forces in the towns that you see over there, or surround the towns, Kharkiv, Izium, Zaporizhia, among other towns that we marked out on that map. And the reason for that is, the moment Russia deploys its soldiers in strength in these areas, there has to be a counter from the Ukrainian side. And therefore, if Ukraine's forces are deployed in defending these very important cities, then the possibility of a Russian armored thrust through the center does exist, but only to the extent that they can push the front line in order to secure the entire Donbass region. That appears to be what the goal of the Russians at this stage could be. Will this be what Vladimir Putin considers to be a victory? Only time will tell.